Hey Stampers, me again, I'm back again. Same day, different hour. Right, I have gone away after doing the last video and I've cut and scored my white flaps. I've also got a few, these were what was left over, so I've used these and I'm going to score them at 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch for these to hook up at the bottom maybe. I've got some black ones, I've rounded the corners off. And I think I've got about 28, 26, 27, 28 of the 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Well, there will be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, 4 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I think I've got 28 of the 4 by 4 1/2 as well. So I've scored them. I haven't folded them, obviously. We've got these in case I use white. Let me just get my little score tool. Because we're having so many waterfalls, I'm just going to pop that in. Score that 1/2 inch. In fact, I'm going to put it in that way. That's 1/2 inch. That's 1/2 inch. And that's 1/2 inch. So you know when you like at the bottom of a waterfall, so you can maybe have a magnet underneath to keep it closed. So let's score those. There we go. So they're all done now, and then we can move on to doing the waterfall in the centre of our album. So it's starting to bulk out, as you can see, but it's flexible because we can open it like this. It doesn't matter if it's wobbly because we can expand this as wide as we want now, because we're adding more stuff in here. A waterfall that side, a waterfall this side, and a waterfall this side. Let me just get it. So we're going to have a waterfall there and there, and then when this book is closed and opened up at the back, we're going to have waterfall down there and down there as well. So lots of space for photos. Plus there's going to be mats going inside these booklets as well. Maybe 1 or 2. We could get maybe 2 in each one. I cut those to size, didn't I? Yeah, they're already in there, look. Our mats are in there. It will go back in. It just needs a little bit of persuasion. So, do I then add pockets on here? Or do I leave that for a large photo mat? Let me just pop that back in. There we go. So we've got it so it fits. Now we can open up. Let's see. We're going to start. Because these are 4 1/2 inches. So they're going to go just off a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way to the top. And we're just going to be gluing those in. So I'm going to spin my book round so I can add them. So we're going to have 4 inches on one side, 4 1/4, about 4 1/4 on one side, and then we're going to have the 4 inch by 4 inch on the other side. But first, I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add halfway down, because you're going to get quite a lot in there by the time you've added all the other bits. You keep your lines straight. You're going to be able to get a fair few, I would say. Or you're going to get loads. You're going to get loads of these on here. And they're only lightweight cardstock. Because you're going to have a photograph on either side. So you're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm just using this as a little reference. Half an inch gap in between, just to know roughly how many I need. Oh, sorry about the sniffles. Just as soon as I switch the camera on, nose runs. I know, don't ask me why, but it does. And it's because we've had I've spoken to a few other ladies that have had a bypass. I've been to see my surgeon today about getting the excess skin removed, and he's hoping to get it done for free for me, because now it's classed as a medical emergency because it's interrupting my everyday life with other medical problems as well. So at first they thought I was doing it for cosmetic reasons, and I've never wanted it done for cosmetic reasons. So I reckon we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 13 or 14 on each flat. So instead of wasting your time just trying to measure up, I'm just going to crack on and start putting them in. I know on my first 2 I'm going to need a strip of my tape and my glue. Let me just grab a fresh tissue. I do apologise. So let's grab this. Let's start doing our beautiful waterfalls. And what we're going to do, after we've had a strip of paper, the top one is going to have a picture on, and we're going to follow the picture down, but we're going to do some little doodling in the corner. I love doodling. I love, you know, drawing little clocks, just anything. I just love doodling. If you looked around my house, I have got paper everywhere, so I can just doodle. And most of all, I just write my name and address, and then sometimes I draw little things, little bunny rabbits, just, you know, the ones you used to do in school with, like, there's a pair of teeth, there's the nose, and tell a little story about the dog and stuff like that. Have you ever done that as a kid? I used to always do that, and I'm still doing it now, and I'm 53. Always young at heart. So because there's not going to be much of a gap either side, I am not going to cover up the black. I'm just going to try my best. I'm not going right to the very top. I'm leaving myself a very small border. Oh, that's oozed out up the top. Look at that. A lot of glue on that one. So I'm going to leave that there, ready for the next bit. Make sure it doesn't stick. So I'm going to put tape again, just on these 2. Once we get down there, we're okay. You know, like journaling lines. I like doing things like that, and little flowers in the corner and stuff, depending on the theme. Make sure that's tucked down properly. Perfect. See how I've gone over a little bit? Just flip that back on itself. Perfect. Now the glue. I'm going to bend this back, and I'm going to line that up right along the side of this one, making sure they're together at the top. I've got my glue eraser. I know I've got OCD when it comes to that. Don't worry if you've got a little tiny gap, because you need a little bit of space. So come back and check that they are together perfectly. Now I think we just need glue. Lovely. You see what I'm doing? Pull back my flat to make sure it lines up. that good press down. Once I've done about 10 of these, we'll have a look, see how far down we are. Paper, that's not quite straight there. That is better. They're all lined up perfectly. Oh, now look, they look. Why did they look like they're going off centre? That's it. Oh, Mr. Boyce is coming up with my coffee, I think. That's better. That's a lot better. Oh, Mr. Boyce,
No, baby.
You're a darling, thank you.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So that's better. I'm going to keep them all lining up. Oh, we're going to get loads down there, aren't we? But what, I've never seen an album like this. I do like to do things my own way if possible. Not because I think it's better than anybody else, I just want it to stand out and be a little bit more different than somebody else. Because if we all did the same, it'd all be a wee little bit boring. So let's test that. Perfect. And then we use our bone fold. And I like that it's thin, because by the time it won't be too heavy of a book once it's filled with photographs then. It's just gonna sit nice and tidy. Perfect. Just keep grabbing them. We can burnish them when we check that they're glued in properly. I may even get some of my, what's it called, out. Oh, I can't think what it's called now. Oh, what are they called? Distress inks. And depending on the paper and the colour, distress the sides. Or you can just keep them nice and neat and clean and white. Perfect. So we fold them over, we'll burnish them as we rub them down. And it's all about keeping them lined up perfectly. Perfect. That's it. And then we can burnish that. And there as well. Perfect. I'm having a ball. I mean, I will probably not do the other three on camera because everybody knows how to put a waterfall in. I will come back though and let you see me decorate it, if that's what you want. Let's just check. Perfect. Beautiful. Let's check the whole thing. Oh, we've still got miles to go yet. I love it. Da, 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 da. Checking that is just right. There we go. That one. Check that. Perfect. We're getting there. Nice waterfalls. Can't go wrong with them. Do you know what you could do as well? You could have on the net, on maybe one of them, tie ribbon, and this one could have like a magnetic clip or something like that. just different ways of closing things. I mean, if you don't mind using magnets, then that's all the more better. Gives a bit more sturdiness. So I want to lay this one down and adjust it according. Check again. Oh, it's lovely. And I am drawn towards the Lady Vagabond and the Sir Vagabond. Sorry. I'm hopeless when it comes to this camera. I never look up at myself, and I'm not one of these that like wants to look at myself on camera. I just do it so you can see what's going on, and I can have a little chat with you when I do sit up and have a look. See, so we're getting close now. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, a good 12 or 14, easy. So I can always cut another sheet if needs be. Because I managed, out of 13 sheets, I got 26 and, well, 14 sheets, because I'd already cut 2. So 14 sheets of paper, and I got enough, more or less, to do both sides of the waterfalls. Again, just ease that on, check it with the others, and once you know it's right, press it down, and it should stay in lovely, beautiful. I reckon with the 4" by 4" ones, because of the fold, we might get 15 or 16 down that side. So lift it. Press down and burnish. Oh, look at that, we're getting there, girls. Ooh, loving it. And what I might do now is turn it back round, just whilst I get the last few in. Oh, look at that. But there's, and that's going to bulk up again when you think about it with the photos on. As long as we're still going straight. That's the main thing. So to me it looks lopsided, but my book isn't straight. Oh, it's coming out slightly. You see that? Perfect. Give that a burnish down. Whoops. Look, see, a little bit on the lopsided side, but nothing too major. And I reckon this should be the last one. Let's just check that against there. It's a little bit out. No, that one's out a little bit. Do bear with me. That's way out. Let's try that now. Is that straight? There it is, I think. That's gotten it. Perfect. Oh, just on the edge there of that one. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh wow. With a little tiny, I might have to trim that last little bit off. But yeah, I've not popped it straight there, so I might take them all out later off camera. Add it onto a piece of paper. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. So let's get a strip. That's not wide enough. Is that wide? Let's see if that's wide enough. No, it needs to be 4 inches. So let me cut this in half to 4 inches. That's another way of getting a waterfall straight, is by having it straight. No, right, let me just get the pencil. I'm gonna take this one to the edge this time. Just trim that little bit off. And just make sure that comes all the way to the edge. That's perfect. So with the 4-inch ones, if you glue it onto this, you can use this paper as your glue line, and you know you're going to get them all right because you're going to butt them up to there. Then at the end, all you have to do is glue this in. So right on that edge. Perfect. These are my 4-inch sides now. Probably get about 15 or 60, so that's 30, 60, or at least 120, minimum 120 photos. Oops, that's a wrong size. So they are. I'm picking them off the wrong pile. There, this is the pile for the smalls. Is that it? Yes, that's better. Pick the wrong pile up, see? Keeping that all the way along the edge. Perfect. I know it's white on white and you can't see it very well, but we will get that. Beautiful. And then we can stick this in the right way. What do you all reckon to this lockdown, COVID, and all these injections people are having? Oh, perfect. That's lovely and straight, that is. That way, even if I have cut some a little bit short, we can trim that section down. Because you can't always get cut. Excuse me, loves. There we go. Sorry about that. That's life. That's what all the people say. I can't sing. I'm not going to sing. So you can even stand this up, making sure it's right along the edge. Perfect. Yeah, but if any of you gone and watched that Sinner, it's called. Oh, I suppose that's the right way. Well, that one's cracked. I'm not going to use that one. Depends on how rough you are at scoring. Sometimes I can be a little bit heavy-handed. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we've got a way to go yet. At least another 9. I might get some ribbon actually on this one. Let's got that. Well, that one's a bit off the chart. Let's put a bit more glue on there. Better. That's got it. That's better. Excuse me. Just going to use the rubber. Get rid of that glue. Perfect. Yeah, with one A4 sheet of paper, you can get 2 4 3/4 by 4 1/4 and 2 4 by 4 1/2 out of each sheet. So you only use a little strip at the bottom. It's getting there, lovely. It's not a very big pile of them. Have I used the 4-inch on them as well? I have 2 there, the 4-inch. They're the bigger ones. So this one's going to go on the other side. Oh, I've got one there. I was thinking then that pile's small. I'm struggling to see the end now. There we go. Right along the edge. I think my plunger's getting blocked. We'll be checking after we put these last 2 in. See if I need to cut a couple more, because there's only 2 left. Maybe I should have done this on black. Give myself some sight to see. Whoops. Oh, I think we best test. Let me put this one in and then we'll test. Let me just make sure that's there. Perfect. Let's push this down. One. Oh, at least another 2. So I'm going to get this one. That's right. Whoops. Just get that on the edge there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. And I could get one more on there, and then that is going on the other side. So definitely one more. So let's use this piece that we cut. So let's get, I might cut a couple more. No, I only need, so that's 4 by 4.5, and 4.5. You get these little bits. I pop them down there for doodling on, and then score this at 1/2 inch. Out the way. Have a swig of my coffee. Oh, definitely nice. I'm not drinking peach tea, but I fancied a cup of coffee today. So that is just going to, I'm going to leave that one at that, because it's just going to leave me a little fraction. Perfect. Making sure it's right along the edge. Push that down. See what I mean about, you might not always trim them exactly the same. There's a little fraction hanging over the edge there. But when I look, it all lines up beautiful. So you could either now, see what I mean? Little edges sticking out the side. Not all of them are cut perfectly. You could obviously take your guillotine to that, but I don't think anyone's going to notice it when it's in your album. And it's going, you can either glue the top bit and have it all opened up, or you just glue it all down. Well, that's going to be my other side, and then my larger side is these wider pieces. That's the spare. These are the wider ones. These are literally 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of cardstock, some black, that way I know I'm keeping to the edge. Check my battery. It's going to go shortly. I'm going to cut this 4 1/4. I'll leave the length for now, unless I do it. Push that right to the edge. Get my pencil. Trim that off there. Making sure it's nice and tight and close up to the edge. So, we've done waterfalls, we've done the 2. These are 4 by 4 photo frames. We've got one that's attached, one that's detached. I'm going to do the other 2 detached, and then we're going to put them in, and we're going to decorate those on the next. And then we're going to do something on this side, and then we'll start on the back. So I'm going to go away and glue these on. We'll do some activity on this one. On this one, the 2 waterfalls were there, and I've already started the front of this one, as you can see. So let's show what it's going to look like, even though it's not glued in yet. So that's going to fold up, this is going to fold in, and this is going to fold up, and this is where it expands at the back, see? So you can just add and take, add and take. Perfect. I'm going to skim that little piece off at the bottom there. These are my tie, oops. This is where you tie the album, and we might even make a, if we've got some paper, decent amount of papers left over at the end, I might make a little chipboard box to keep it in. So my album in a box with a room for expansion. And it will stand up. It's absolutely fabulous. Never seen anyone make an album like this before. So I'm going to love and leave you. Come back on the next video. Take care. Bye.